Ja, soweit der Bericht von unserer Reporterin Fanny Fascher. In Dresden ist aber auch meine Kollegin Charlotte Potz aus unserer Politikredaktion. Charlotte, dieser Jahrestag war schon im Vorfeld so umstritten. Wie ist es jetzt dort? Was haben Sie beobachten können?
Ja, der Gedenktag ist ein schwieriger Tag für Dresden und war auch immer ein schwieriger Tag. Heute allerdings ist das Gedenken friedlich geblieben. Sie sehen hinter mir die Frauenkirche und hier haben heute Leute den ganzen Tag Kerzen aufgestellt und unter anderem eine Menschenkette durch die Stadt gebildet. 12.000 Menschen haben sich da an der Hand gehalten und haben der Opfer dieser Bombennacht gedacht. Das war schon ein beeindruckendes Bild. Und gleichzeitig sieht man immer wieder rechte Gruppierungen, eben auch Neonazis, die am Samstag marschiert sind, die Zahlen der Opfer aus dieser Nacht erhöhen und diesen Tag für sich instrumentalisieren. Damals sind 25.000 Menschen in dieser Bombennacht ums Leben gekommen. Neonazis sagen, es waren mehr und hängen da ganz gerne mal eine Null dran. Und es gibt halt auch noch zwei neue Kontroversen, denn Dirk Hilbert, der Bürgermeister, erinnert an diesem Tag und hat auch in den letzten Tagen immer wieder daran erinnert, dass Dresden keine unschuldige Stadt war, dass es hier nicht nur Opfer gab, sondern auch Täter und dass die NSDAP hier so viele Stimmen hatte wie in fast keiner anderen deutschen Stadt. Ja, und das geht vielen Dresdnern gegen den Strich, ebenso wie dieses Kunstwerk, was Sie hinter mir sehen, aus 3 Bussen aufgebaut von einem Deutsch-Syrer, der an Not und Leiden und Krieg in Syrien erinnern will. Und auch das mögen viele Dresdner gar nicht gerne.
Ja, was haben die Menschen genau gesagt, mit denen Sie sprechen konnten?
Ja, ich habe heute einige hitzige Debatten hier vor diesem Kunstwerk überhört und unter anderem mit einem Pegida-Anhänger gesprochen, der mir sagte, das Kunstwerk sei eine Schande für Dresden. Man sollte an diesem Tag eben der Dresdner Opfer gedenken und nicht irgendwelcher Opfer in Syrien. Er sagt, es sei eine Steuerverschwendung, eine Provokation, ein Stück Müll. Und so ging es auch vielen eher auch unpolitischen Dresdnern, die dieses Kunstwerk eben hier an diesem Ort und auch zu dieser Zeit nicht geeignet finden. Dafür habe ich aber auch mit anderen gesprochen hier, die Blumen an diesem Mahnmal, an diesem Kunstwerk abgelegt haben und genau jetzt finden, dass dies ein guter Zeitpunkt ist, eben auch Opfer aus anderen Kriegen, Opfern des Krieges in Syrien zu gedenken. Also es ist ein gemischtes Gefühl und dieser Tag und auch dieses Kunstwerk polarisieren Dresden doch sehr stark.
Vielen Dank, dass Sie das für uns beobachtet haben. Auf Wiedersehen nach Dresden.
Let's get more on that story now with our correspondent, Charlotte Potts. She is standing by for us in Dresden. And Charlotte, I understand that you have one of the artists behind those installations with you today.
I do. So February 13th is a very important day for Dresden. Much of what you can see behind me was destroyed during the Allied bombing. People here are commemorating that today. And I'm here with the artist of the installation of this monument behind me. And I want to ask you, there has been a lot of heated discussion about your monument. I've seen you talk to some people here from the right wing, some protesters. What are your takeaways? What are you hearing from them?
Well, actually, I'm hearing different stuff. A lot of them are just telling me that this installation doesn't belong here. I have a different opinion because this installation is against every war everywhere of the world. And it looks like they're not understanding the message and what's at stake.
Some have called it a piece of junk even, and there has been, you've basically built this up looking at a picture of erected buses in Aleppo. But there's also a different version of that picture showing a flag on top of it from a radical rebel group. So people have been very critical of that. What do you make of it?
Well, actually, I don't care which flag is on the buses, because this is not what the work is meaning. I don't know who. We don't know who's fighting for who against who in Syria. And when I watch the pictures of the buses, I just see the intact street life, like the open stores and the people working and or trying to go to work and trying to not think about war. And so I'm fascinated about this energy of life that's behind this bus barricade and not about who it belongs to.
And it's going to be here until April. What are your hopes for the city of Dresden and for its citizens, what they make of this monument until then?
Well, actually, I'm very happy that it's standing here because a lot of people now coming to the city and trying to talk and talk about the people or talk about the work and everything here. So I'm happy.
Thank you so much, Manaf Halbuni. And with that, I'll give it back to the studio.
All right, Charlotte Potts with us there from Dresden. Thank you so much for that.
The German city of Dresden is marking 72 years since the Allied firebombing during the Second World War that destroyed much of the city's center. The mayor of Dresden laid flowers at a memorial to the thousands of people killed in that bombing. As part of the commemorations this year, the city has set up art installations focusing on refugees fleeing war. The art has drawn anger of far-right groups who have called for a protest on Tuesday at the official opening of the installations. For more on that story, we are joined now by our correspondent, Charlotte Potts. So, Charlotte, you're there in Dresden. Walk us through how the people of the city have been marking the anniversary of this bombing.
Well, February 13th is an extremely important day here in Dresden. You have to imagine during the Allied bombings 72 years ago, within 15 hours, the city of Dresden lay in complete ruins. For example, the Frauenkirche, which you can see behind me, was completely destroyed and only rebuilt after German reunification as a symbol of peace and reconciliation. So right now, people are gathering at the square. They are lighting candles a few meters from here. People are forming a human chain, 15,000 people throughout the city of Dresden, united to commemorate the victims of the Dresden bombings, but also to commemorate those atrocities that were committed by Germans in the Second World War. So people of Dresden are mostly united on the importance of this day of the Allied bombings. But of course, right-wing groups have always tried to instrumentalize this day. For example, neo-Nazis, they've been trying to push kind of a revisionist history, claiming that the Allied bombings had been war crimes, claiming that there have been more victims, more than 25,000. They like to add a zero to that number. So it's a very emotional day for Dresden and also on this 72nd anniversary.
Amid that emotion and the at times controversy, just walk us through what exactly the mood is, because there's also been some talk about some artworks that have been highlighting the refugee issue as well.
Exactly. The city of Dresden set up two pieces of artwork. One is pictures of graves of refugees that died in the Mediterranean. That's not far from here. And I'm standing in front of a memorial, which you see to my left here. And those are three buses mirroring an image from Aleppo, where citizens of Aleppo had been sheltering themselves from sniper fire. So basically, the people of Dresden said this year we want to commemorate also people or wars and other atrocities around the world. And there has been some very heated debates also in the course of the day. I got the chance to talk to many people here, and it's not all of them are right wing or part of the far right anti-Islam Pegida movement here. But basically, people have been telling me that this is a piece of junk. It's a provocation, that this day should belong to the victims of Dresden and not to victims all around the world. And others, of course, see this as a sign to share the burden and to remind of other wars. So very heated discussions here in front of this memorial that I'm standing for.
Thank you very much for your reporting, Charlotte Potts. There in the German city of Dresden, which is marking 72 years since the Allied firebombing during the Second World War.